So it's about time we had a look at the coffee to 100 grand portfolio. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, don't worry, I'll reveal all after this. What's going on, you lot? Welcome to LWT Trading. If you have no clue what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the coffee turning it into $100,000 or 114,000, I think it was, well, go and check out this video there. Fully described, fully explained in that video up there, so go check that out. And in this video, I'm just going to be telling you how it's going. It's been a little over a month, and that portfolio is public on eToro. But before we get into that, please be aware that I am not a qualified financial advisor in your location, and you do your own due diligence when it comes to investing in general. This just is for entertainment purposes and to inspire you to start saving a little bit more dosh so you can retire a little bit early. If you are new here, please do subscribe and turn on the bell, and it would massively help me out if you could go down and just punch that like button until it turns blue. It would massively help me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link down in the description where you can get some exclusive perks, including the LWT chat room and my exclusive WhatsApp group. There's only a few spaces available on that though. And if you're not from the US or Canada, you can actually follow this portfolio live on eToro. Sign up with the link on the pinned comment, deposit, make one simple trade, and you get free lifetime access to my investing chat room where you can message me directly for absolutely no cost at all. All you got to do is sign up on that link. So in the last video of the coffee to 100k, we talked about making the portfolio public, and to sort of popular demand, a couple of comments, I actually made it public, and you can go on there and copy it if you wish. The only advice is if you are going to copy it, don't copy it like all in, just copy it with a small part of your portfolio. But, you know, if you do want to go all in, that's your choice. But for me, I wouldn't go in with more than 20% on anyone, including myself, which sounds a bit crazy. But nonetheless, the portfolio is now public on eToro, LWT Trading. Just type it in and you'll see me there. You can go and see the stats, what stocks I'm in, and you can even follow it just for free. You don't have to invest, and just get some, updates on my market thoughts. In a couple of days on this portfolio, I will be adding this month's $180 US, so you will see a little bump in the revenue there. Don't worry, I didn't hit a home run on GME.
Lol.
January in itself was quite a good month, to be honest. Outperformed the market, did very, very well, and we came in with a quite decent 6.87% for January alone, which I'll take any day, well, any month of the year. That doesn't work, does it? I'll take that any month of the year. Doesn't have the same ring as any day of the year, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now, what stocks actually helped this gain was mainly ExxonMobil and some of the ARK invests, along with Cineworld sort of coming back from the dead a little bit. But let's have a little look more into the individual stocks and talk about why I'm still invested in them and my thoughts. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. So I don't actually have a channel sponsor, just a YouTube ad, so let me know down in the comments what ad you got. I hope you didn't get the same guy I keep on getting. Smart money doesn't want you to win because he never looks at the camera when he's talking. Anyone had that guy as well? Does my bloody head in, man. Look at the damn camera. So the first ticker we have in the portfolio is GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. One of my favorite companies of all time, to be honest. Great dividend, and it's just undervalued right now. There's no simple way of putting it. No one seems to be getting sick because of the pandemic. When the pandemic's finished and all the other diseases come back, GSK should do quite well. No conspiracy theories, I'm just saying. GSK pays a massive dividend, and the reason for that, I actually invested some more last week, bringing my loss to a current minus 4%. Unrealized, of course. Pretty sure this one will do very, very well long term, and in a couple of years' time, I think I'll be easy up 50%, plus some nice dividends along the way. And by the way, if you've got any of these stocks in your portfolio, or there's any you think I should look at adding to this, let me know down in the comments. This portfolio is literally a team game, so let me know down in the comments and we can work this one out together. The next one up is ExxonMobil, and if you are following me on WhatsApp or in the chat room, you'll see that I actually scaled out of Exxon completely in my bigger portfolio. Made some good gains, got some good dividends. I'm in, I'm out, and I limited my oil exposure. But in this small portfolio, I'm actually in Exxon. I'm actually up like 25% on the position, so it's going well. But if we get a spike up to like 30, 35%, I may take some off the table. After all, you don't take profits, you haven't actually made any money. Unrealized gains or no gains at all. But the fact that it pays a dividend, and if it stays around this 25 to 35 range in profit terms, I'll probably just stay in it and take the dividend along the way. But I do expect Exxon to have another pop up, maybe 35, 40%, in which case I'll probably sell half, to be honest. Now, my darling of the portfolio is Alibaba. Now, I do think this stock is massively undervalued. We've seen Alibaba come down recently, and then there was rumors that Jack Ma was missing, the founder. turns out he's actually okay, apparently, and then we don't really know, but then you got the China trade wars, but even taking out all that like rumors and turmoil, I actually think that Alibaba was undervalued anyway, just because they're Amazon's biggest rival, whichever way you look at it on the planet. I know I said Walmart's coming in the space as well, but I think Alibaba, with Biden in the presidency, you might have a bit more luck with the Chinese trade wars, which means Alibaba may be able to open up in the West a little bit more. And if that happens, it's worth a definite punt. But we don't work on ifs. Alibaba actually fell quite a lot recently. I got in at a very good entry, and I'm expecting to make at least 25 to 50% on this over the next 2 years. So it's something that I probably won't add to anymore unless we stay at these low levels for the next couple of months, which I doubt. But it is a stock I think everybody should be looking at right now. I think Alibaba's massively undervalued, but only if you say this sector itself, the e-commerce sector, is actually fair valued. Because there is an argument that the e-commerce sector is actually overvalued short term as well. But so far in Alibaba, we're up about 6%, so steady ship, steady away. Let's move on to the next ticker. So we've got two ETFs, we've got ARKW and ARKF. If you don't know who ARK Investor or Cathie Wood, then Google is your friend. Layman's terms, one of the most innovative ETFs out there. They're looking for disruptive technology stocks. I'm not going to go into too much detail on these themselves because, well, you're opening a rabbit hole and they're probably a video in themselves. But ARKW is currently up 19% and ARKF is currently up 12%. Probably will add into them if we get anywhere below the 10% mark on either of them. But hey, that's to be decided at a later date. Them ETFs, if you're not invested in them, I strongly suggest you look at them because you can just invest regularly and I think you'll do very, very well over the long term. I think it's actually probably better than investing into the SPY, to be honest. Now, one of my favorite tickers of all time, no, it's not BP, it's Legal & General. Legal & General, I think, is again undervalued given the whole pandemic. Not many people have been able to get out and get legal advice and, well, general advice, hence the name. But I got it on a massive dip and I really wish I got more. I've actually got a lot of this in my main portfolio as well. And I'm currently up a bit more in my main portfolio, but this one I'm up like 30 something percent. If we get a good enough fall again, maybe around, I don't know, another 10-15% fall from current prices, I'll definitely be buying more. Legal & General is a great company in my opinion and really undervalued. I'm expecting this one to go up at least 100% in total. Maybe even more, who knows. Now the performance darling of the portfolio is Cineworld, up a whopping 200% since investment. I'm actually invested in this heavily in, well, not heavily, that's a very loose term. I've got a lot more shares in my main portfolio with a better entry than this one on Cineworld. It was a bit of a gamble at the time, I'm not going to lie, but I just thought at the time it shat itself. There's no easy way of saying it when I got in, which is around about 20 pence. And at the time, I thought there's going to be at least a short bounce. So I got in on that red day pretty much at the bottom. I think my lowest entry was around 19. And then, yeah, I was never really red on that in the main portfolio. It bounced, it stabilized, and then there was some positive restructuring news with as far as loans go. Movies were getting delayed rather than cancelled. So I just thought it's a solid investment long term. I didn't think debtors were ever going to let this company go bankrupt just because of the sheer size. So yes, although it will be a long road to recovery, I do think this one will be a good long-term hold, but I wouldn't be buying more at its current price. My plan with Cineworld is if we get up to that £1 mark, I'll probably sell half my position or at least a third. Then I'm sort of near enough playing my house money. So that's sort of my plan with Cineworld. To be clear, I'm not buying any more right now. Now, Lockheed Martin, I think, will be one of my favorite stocks in the next 10 years. I did a video on it. Again, you can check that out up there. Strongly suggest you go and have a look at Lockheed Martin. One word, space. They're also one of the biggest defense contractors in the world. They pay a good dividend, and they're moving into space. They're working with SpaceX and NASA and companies of the sort. Space is the final frontier. It used to be a bit of a pun, but literally, you should really start looking at exposure to space stocks. I think if you're watching this video under the age of 50, we're going to be in space, financially speaking, as far as companies go in the next 5-10 years. So I think, yeah, you should seriously be looking at space. You have companies like MNTS or SRAC at the moment. But when that converts to MNTS, then you've got a company that wants to eventually mine asteroids. You've got satellites being put in space literally every couple of weeks now from SpaceX. So, well, unless they explode. But yeah, I think you should really be looking at space in generic terms. That's where the growth's going to be long term, but it's going to be a bumpy ride. Again, pardon the pun. Now, Compass Group, a catering company in the UK, is a stock that I'm really proud to have. If I'm honest with you, I was really racking my head a couple of months ago, where do I go and invest? You know, airlines have had the push, even cinemas have had the push, hospitality as a whole has had the push. You know, even casinos are all back up at what their previous, like MGM is back up near its all-time highs, or previous highs before the pandemic, should I say. And I was really struggling, and I found Compass, which is a catering company, which of course has been hit massively. It's a huge, huge company. Definitely, I think it's got no chance of going bankrupt in the next 2 years, unless lockdown happens for 2 years, which I don't think anyone can afford to, unless Biden just keeps printing that money, baby. Well, not just Biden, Boris Johnson, every leader in planet Earth, really. But I think Compass is a good investment. I could easily double my money in it. That said, I don't know if I'd be buying any more just yet, but if we do get some decent dips, I'm very, very interested. And that one itself, we are currently up 2.8%. Nothing major, so it's still relatively under the radar. If we get some good dips, I might actually add some more. By good dips, I'm talking like 0.5% or something like that. Roche Holdings is a good company I'm consistently looking at sizing into. The downside of having a small account is you only get $180 a month to invest in. So if I had a couple of thousand, which I do in my main portfolio, I'd be looking at Roche Holdings. Roche Holdings, I think, is going to be very, very good long term. And I'm really thinking about doing a video on that in general. So if you are interested in Roche, let me know down in the comments. They're also listed on the US market under RHBY, I think, on the OTC. It's a Swiss company. So you can go and, yeah, let me know in the comments if you want a video on that itself. So RollsRoyce, the secret weapon in my portfolio. Currently, I am up a 6.95% in RollsRoyce. At the recording of this video, of course, it's going to differ by the time it comes out. But Rolls-Royce, I think, is hugely undervalued. Please remember that this isn't Rolls-Royce, the car manufacturer. I did a video on it. You can go check it out up there. It's actually a huge, huge industrial aerospace company. They're one of the biggest makers of aircraft engines in the world. And again, you just need to think of one word: space. Companies I'm actually looking at buying with the next 180 bucks, but please bear in mind, this is not set in stone, are BP, Aston Martin, adding to Rolls-Royce, and adding to LMT, Lockheed Martin. So that's what I'm looking at. There is a few on the radar that it's not quite there yet in terms of valuation, in my opinion, but that's it for now. Let me know your eToro name down in the comments, and I'll give everybody a follow. Let me know what your eToro is down in the comments. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. That's it from me. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. Take care. Peace.